Hello guys, today is the 28th of April and that is the day when I'm going to plant potatoes. I think it's a very celebratory day for me because that's what I love doing, and in general, out of all of the vegetables, potatoes are my favourites, of course. And I don't know whether it is determined by my nationality or not, but it's a very extraordinary plant and it's really interesting to grow it. So here I have different varieties of potatoes that I'm going to plant today. And approximately 2 years ago, I had only one variety that my family was planting for all of those years. But if you remember, last year I decided to buy some different varieties of potatoes, and I really got hooked on this varieties, on the difference of their shapes, of their taste, and even on the difference of the way they bloom and the way they grow. So here I've got the varieties that actually showed really great harvest and really good yield last year, and I'm going to attach a couple of videos from the previous year. That is the variety that we plant for all of those years. So it was like that variety that was saved by my grandmother, and one of the best varieties, which is of Belarusian production. And here I actually don't remove the sprouts. That's another thing that I love doing with the potatoes, because I know that there are a lot of people, when they get the potatoes from the storage, they remove the sprouts. I don't do this because I think that they sprout better. And in any case, I read lots of useful information on this topic, and there are lots of advantages from the sprouts. And moreover, you can actually look at whether the potato is healthy or not by the way the sprouts are growing, because usually when the potato is damaged, the sprouts are going to be of black color and their tips. So I'm beginning with the first one. So they are of different sizes. So that is the amount we've got from one bush. And I think that that is a very productive amount of potatoes to plant, especially when you have got just a bit of space. We've got 30 kg in here. That is from that patch of land, and the potatoes are actually pretty much different. Some of them are really nice, especially the ones that were under a thick layer of mulch. These ones, they are particularly great. And medium-sized and small ones are mainly closer to the end of the patch where I didn't put that much mulch, and that's the result. Then that is the variety which I told you about, of kind of like Hungarian selection. And if you missed that video, I'm going to attach the link. That is the variety which is like the closest to ours, but it has like this incredibly red peel, and it's a very nice one. I have harvested the new variety that I have bought, that I have set really high hopes on. Actually, at the very beginning, I thought that I chose the worst place because of the apple tree nearby that produces the shade for the most part of the day. But when I started digging up, I was really surprised to get the result. I mean, like, the patch of land is not really big, and there was in total 20 bushes. And I haven't even mulched the potatoes. I mean, like, this size is a lot bigger. Some potatoes are a lot bigger comparing to the potatoes of the variety that I have been growing for the past 10 years. And that's like really marvelous. So I haven't expected it. And sometimes like that's all about the surprise. Then I've got the variety which I think gave the best result and the best yield from a very small patch of land. We've got lots of potatoes, and this variety is kind of like of this shape, and some of the sprouts are definitely big, but I'm not removing them. And they started producing the roots. The roots started appearing. Wow. And the biggest yield, and that is a very good variety, and I think that it's mostly like aesthetically pleasant and really unusual, and that's the variety. So I've got 33 kilograms and I had 19 bushes, and there were, if I remember correctly, five square meters. So this result is really impressive, and that produced the biggest yield. And these ones are the two varieties that I bought this year, so they are new for me. I've heard lots of things from about them. That is the variety. I'm going to attach the names too. That is the variety which a lot of people grow because it's like it grows enormously big potatoes, and that is the variety which is connected with the blue color. So they say that it blooms, the blossom is going to be blue. That's why I like wanted this this amount of extraordinary colors too, so I bought it. So in total what I've got is I've got 6 varieties that I'm going to plant this year, and for me that's already a lot. I think that you may feel what I mean when you grow only like a couple of varieties, and when you start increasing the amount of the variability in terms of the types of the potatoes, it definitely produces lots of emotions. So I'm going to plant them right now. So let's move to the patch of land where I will plant them. So that is the patch of land where we are going to plant the potatoes. There isn't much space for the potatoes, so I'm interested in getting the yield from a very small patch of land. But that is the first time when we're going to use this patch of land for potatoes, because before it was a wildly growing patch of land, and that's why here we're going to experience the problem with the wireworm, which is definitely a big trouble, but with time I hope to get rid of it exactly here, because it damages potatoes a lot. And my mom's brother also suffered from the wireworm, and he said that this year he's not going to plant the potatoes here, he's going to plant something else instead, so that to get rid of the wireworm. That's why like it travels freely and it enters into our patch too. But he's not planting potatoes yet because, as you can see, the ground is soaking wet. But yesterday we cultivated it, so it got just a bit dry. But I'm not afraid of planting the potatoes now because I checked the weather forecast, and there won't be rain for at least a week, and there will be like plus 21 degrees centigrade, which is a very good I think temperature for that. So yeah, what I'm going to do in order to protect the potatoes from the wireworm, I bought a substance. I'm not a big fan of different substances, but I decided to before planting to spray the potatoes with this substance. That's why they're going to look, all of them are going to look a bit pinkish because of this substance, but I'm going to try because the wireworm is ruthless and it damages the potatoes a lot. But in the long run, I'm not going to use it every single year because I'm planning on getting rid of it, and usually the wireworm is not going to damage the potatoes if it just doesn't have something else to eat, which is usually the bindweed that it loves. So that is what I'm going to do, just hopefully this year. So I'm going to plant. Also in every pit I'm going to add a bit of ash. That is one of the vegetables that loves really rich soil, and I can't boast of having the rich soil here. I don't know, I think that we never fertilized it. But last year we added lots and lots of grass over winter, and the previous summer it just got like this. And usually they say that the wireworm doesn't like the ash. I do believe in this fact, but I don't think there's going to produce a very nice deterrent effect for the wireworm, which is like obviously in abundance here. Another reason why I try to leave the sprouts is that this way I can see how many sprouts each potato gives, because when I'm putting lots of potatoes into one pit, I count the sprouts, and usually per one pit I leave 5, 4, 6 sprouts. So I know that that is the variety of the potato that doesn't give lots of sprouts, as you can see, like literally 1 or 2. So I'm going to put like approximately three potatoes into one pit, and that's something that I'm guided by because I don't have lots of space, and I definitely need to save on the amount of space here. So that's what I'm doing. So like I'm trying to put several potatoes into one pit. And they look a bit pinkish because of the substance that I used. This potato that I'm planting right now, it's called Meteor, and it's of early crop, and it's really big. That's why like the size is really big, the one that I left. And I'm going to spray a little bit more. And that's going to be one pit, 3 huge potatoes for one pit. And it's going to be, I think, really interesting to see how many potatoes these pits produce. But definitely I'm counting on this logic, because last year when I took this variety that I wasn't familiar with, I put like 1 or 2, and in the result there were only like 2 stems, and I really want it to have like to be a solid bush, so I'm trying to put more. I finished planting. I think that me and my mom spent approximately an hour, because there are lots of things happening here, and obviously closer to the end of this patch there is still a little bit of water, so it's like soaked in water, but I just hope that it's going to be okay, that nothing will damage the potatoes. So what I'm going to do right now is to cover it with the layer of the ground, and I'm going to do that carefully. You definitely have to be careful, because like all that work regarding the sprouts will be ruined if you damage them. So definitely I'm going to do that very carefully and covering slowly. This way it's at least easier to do this, but I hope that it's going to sprout and appear very soon, because the sprouts are really big, and I'm pretty excited about this. I definitely have like the variability just in one patch of land, and that's something that really warms my heart. What I definitely love about this is just calculating, like, you know, the yield to see the difference of form and the difference of taste, because it's really surprising by it tastes differently depending on the type of dish that you are preparing. So I hope that you liked this video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.